Well, good evening, Owensboro Board of Commissioners. This is actually a regular meeting, July the 16th. This time, I'll ask the City Clerk, Beth Cecil, to please call the roll.
Commissioner Jeff Sanford.
Here.
Commissioner Larry Conder.
Here.
Mayor Tom Watson.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Larry Magliner.
Here.
Commissioner Pam Smith-Wright.
Here.
Thank you. At this time, we'll have the invocation and the pledge of allegiance to the flag. We'll ask Mayor Pro Tem Larry Magliner to present.
Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, as we gather here today, we pray that we do our best and always act in accordance with what is best for our community and our fellow citizens. We ask that you would guide and direct our meeting so that it is full of wisdom, productivity, and respect for one another. Thank you for helping us to accomplish our work and our goals this day. Amen.
Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Okay, the first item on the presentation agenda is item 4A. I'm trying to find something on my phone. Rob, you can make your way over there.
Oh, boy.
Oh, piddle. Before you get started, I'd like to read this email I got, if you don't mind.
Oh, okay.
This email says, "Hello, hope this finds you all well. I'm a flight attendant for Allegiant and worked a flight to Owensboro on Monday, 15 July 2019, and was so overwhelmed at the amazing staff that you have. From the minute the plane door was opened, we were greeted with nothing less than an overabundance of pleasantness and smiles. I then noticed how all your team, from the ramp to boarding, were in such sync with one another and worked together as a team in perfect unison, all while staying pleasant and upbeat. I was so unbelievably impressed. We have so many stations in our system that could learn from you and your team. I personally would do a flight anytime to Owensboro. You and your team are to be commended for their teamwork and hard work. Kudos to all of you from this flight attendant, and a sincere thank you for what you are doing for our passengers as well as our crew." I thought that might make you smile a little bit. That's pretty impressive.
Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome.
Thank you. And
Please
that's,
introduce yourself, state your name and address for the record, please.
Absolutely. My name is Rob Barnett. I'm the airport director at the Owensboro-Davis County Regional Airport, and I live in Deer Valley 2339 Blossom Court in Utica, Kentucky.
Is that in the county?
It is in the county, Mayor.
Okay.
Yes.
Just checking.
Yes. Well, thank you all. The email we received, I forwarded that to the mayor, is totally an attribute to our staff. Our staff, we have young college-age adults, and they are all attending college here locally, and they're working part-time at the airport. And Tristan Durbin, our operations manager, is with me today here in the front door. Tristan, raise your hand. That's his folks. That's his staff, and we run a very tight ship. He does a heck of a job for us. He's local. He's been with the airport about 3.5, 4 years, so he's growing into the different positions, and he's been in that position since January. I started here in November and promoted Tristan into that. It reminds me of me when I was about a lot younger.
That's what happens when you give young people a job opportunity, right?
That's right. That's right. So, and he has absolutely no plans of moving anywhere, Mayor, because his mom would shoot him if he did. Anyway, thank you all for the opportunity. Nate had asked me to come down and just give a brief overview of the Essential Air Service program, and I've prepared a very brief PowerPoint presentation for you all to look at, and we'll be more than happy to answer any questions you might have about the Essential Air Service program. So Owensboro and Paducah are the only two Essential Air Service airports in the state of Kentucky. Owensboro is incredibly fortunate to have the Essential Air Service program.
Could you explain the Essential Air Service just quickly?
Absolutely. The Essential Air Service program is actually on the next slide there. So a community must be, in order for the community to be eligible, I have in front of you that it's located within 70 miles from the nearest medium or large hub. And then, of course, the rate of subsidy per passenger is $200 or less under this program, unless the airport has more than 210 miles. So it's a federally subsidized program, and the airport maintains 10 or more enplanements a day. We have an abundance more than 10 enplanements a day. We are currently doing 21 flights a week with Cape Air under the existing DOT Essential Air Service contract. And then, of course, we have Allegiant Air operating 3 times a week out of Owensboro with a passenger load factor somewhere between 88–89%. So it's amazing. Allegiant Air is incredibly impressed with our performance. Actually, Allegiant Air is sending their regional manager into our community tonight to take out our Allegiant Air staff, our Owensboro Airport Allegiant Air staff, to dinner for their performance recently.
Where are we going?
They're going to Red Lobster. Going to Red Lobster. You're more than welcome to come, Mayor. And even more impressive, we recently received another award for the Allegiant Air staff, and Owensboro has recently become an airport, a top performer airport for Allegiant Air. We are number 4 in the country out of over 100 stations. So we're doing very well. So we're doing a lot of things to work with Allegiant on route development as well, future routes, future development. As you know, you might have heard of the resort they're working on and all those other things. And so we're working on a lot of different things with Allegiant, but they're very comfortable being in Owensboro and their operations. So, and looking at the EAS proposals, so we had a 4-year contract with Cape Air and the Cessna airplanes serving Owensboro 21 times a week. Well, every 4 years or 2 years, depending on what the community recommends and the DOT approves, we are currently under a 4-year contract, and this is the second contract Cape Air's had in the community. So, in other words, they're on their 7.5 year here in Owensboro, and we are set to renew that contract. So the DOT Essential Air Service experts actually contacted me and said, hey, it's time for us to start thinking about renewing the contract. We're going to go ahead and put the solicitation on the street, and you go ahead and contact all of your folks that you know in the industry and make them aware of our proposal and see if they have any interest in Owensboro. For the first time in history, we actually received 4 airline proposals and 10 or 12 different variations and options within those proposals. So what happens from that point is an interview process. So we actually, the airport board, we reserved the room at the chamber. We opened the meeting up to the public. We did Facebook Live. We did a lot of different public interaction, social media, comments on social media, welcomed the public to come in, news release, all those things. And the Facebook Live actually had a big response of views and comments and things. We allowed those 4 airlines to come in and make presentations to our community. And at the end of the day, all of the presentations were conducted, and they had the same amount of time, so it was fair and equal. And then the airport board, following that presentation about a week later, made the recommendation that they would like to see Cape Air continue operation. So Cape Air has, in their proposal, guaranteed new airplanes. So a new airplane means 9 seats, 5.5 inches wider, with more leg room, more modern engines, high-wing aircraft, more fuel efficient, more baggage, more speed, so shorten the stage length, if you will, to St. Louis, although the board wanted to implement Nashville and St. Louis as a combination to offer the public and the surrounding region 80 more destinations and more code share opportunities with Atlanta, United, and Delta.
Explain code share.
Absolutely. So some of these airlines that bid on the Essential Air Service program do not currently have an interline agreement or a code share agreement. Now what that means is if Nate checks his bag in Owensboro, he doesn't want to see his bag again until he gets to his destination.
He won't
correct?
let it out of his sight. Don't worry about that.
Carry on.
Carry on.
Carry
He ain't paying any extra to get it.
So most people, Nate, they don't want to see their bag until they get to their destination, right? If the airline does not have a code share agreement or an interline agreement with your connecting airline, then you have to go down at Nashville or at St. Louis, grab your bag off of the luggage carousel in the baggage claim area, go back through TSA, recheck your bags at the airline and all those things again. It's incredibly inconveniencing, incredibly. And then trying to make a schedule work at the connecting airport is very difficult on your passenger because they have no idea how long it's going to take them to get through the baggage claim, back through the TSA, over to the ticket counter. So the delays and the weather and all those things are huge factors you take into consideration as well. So Cape Air has more interline code share connectivity than all the other three combined, to be quite honest with you. I've worked with Andrew Bonney at Cape Air. He's a vice president at Cape Air. He's very well respected in not only our community, but he's also very well respected throughout the aviation community and the industry as well. I've known him for 25 years, and if he says he's going to deliver a product, he will, and he will on time. I talk to Andrew almost every day, and he absolutely loves the idea of B&A Nashville for not only a destination traveler, but also a connection opportunity. And you've got JetBlue, United Delta, you've got American, you've got a lot of different options to connect through, so you have a seamless transition through your travel experience. So that's important to us. I've seen it work on the other end, Mayor. I've seen an airline not have a code share agreement and it fail miserably. You have to have those things in place. They're expensive. They're very expensive. The booking engines and sharing all the codes and running through the system, the different booking systems and all those things. But anyway, at the end of the day, the board recommended to the Department of Transportation, Cape Air, on a 2-year contract, okay, and then 3 flights a day. 2 of those flights to Nashville, B&A, and 1 flight to St. Louis. We do have a following at the airport for St. Louis. We have business travelers. We have a lot of recreational travelers as well that love Cardinals baseball. Absolutely love them. Now, those folks, Mayor, when they come to the airport, they don't care what the weather is. All they know is the game starts at whatever time it is. So there literally could be a line of thunderstorms, and we don't care, let's go. They are dedicated fans for sure. And they travel through Owensboro a lot. They come from the whole region and travel. We always see an uptick in traffic when there's a game on the weekend or 2 games on the weekend. So it's a good thing.
Go Cubs. Just saying.
So there's our passenger count working with Cape Air. Our advanced bookings on Cape Air over the past 6 months are increased by 66%. So that is a huge monument or for success or an obstacle that we have achieved. You know, when we started redirecting our marketing and all of our media and social media and the traditional media and all those things, we knew that we had to get underneath that $200 passenger employment amount. We knew that we had to secure the essential air service and make sure that those experts felt comfortable with what we're doing and growing this particular operation, and they do. We achieved the 10,000 passengers coming through just on Cape Air. There are many, many more passengers on Allegiant, but this is the essential air service contract. So this is in reference to Cape Air only, has nothing to do with Allegiant. You know, we've got a lot of questions about that, Mayor. A lot of people say, well, what's going to happen to Allegiant? Well, Allegiant is at their own risk. So they're at risk, and they're doing very well, making a lot of money.
We actually don't have a contract with them, do we?
No, sir, we don't. Allegiant actually prefers not to have a contract because they're a very versatile company. And as you know, you've read in the newspapers, they come and go in communities that don't perform. We're scheduling all the way through 2021 right now for Owensboro. So we feel comfortable with what we're doing with the Legion. I'm just looking more forward to being more aggressive in growing that operation. So develop those relationships, cultivate those relationships, and provide the numbers. So we are on an uptick for success. And Cape Air, I talked to you about the distribution. And the city ticket office here in Owensboro, the pilot program that we have, if you are not familiar with that pilot program, OWB pilot program, please give us a call. If you know young adults that are looking for a career, have any interest in aviation, Cape Air has an amazing program to keep the pilots in the community, train them in the community, and give them the opportunity to work through and be debt-free after 6 years. So it's an amazing opportunity. We currently have 2 students enrolled. We're working on 2 more students enrolled. We have the airplane, it's at the airport, and we're talking to Cape Air about growing that program as well.
Economic development.
It is, absolutely, absolutely. So here are some of the airline partners we talked about a little bit with code share and interline agreement. You see JetBlue, Delta, American Airlines, Qatar, United, Alaska, and Condor. If you look at the JetBlue out of Nashville, you've got 2 destinations. You've got Fort Lauderdale, you've got Boston. Of course, you've got Delta and American with tons of connections out of there. Now, one thing to point out that I always like to remind people of is Southwest Airlines does not code share with anyone. They prefer not to code share with any other airline. Therefore, they do not code share with Cape Air. So if you do fly into Nashville to connect with Southwest, you will have to recheck your bags and go back through TSA in the gate. So I just want to point that out. If you connect with any of the other airlines, it'll be a seamless transition for your travel experience. This is the airplane. It is a brand new Italian-made Tecnam Papa 2012 Traveler. This is the airplane Andrew guaranteed Owensboro. When I started talking to him about putting his bid together for Owensboro, I said, Andrew, you're going to have some competition. It's going to be interesting. Please guarantee a new airplane. And he did. So he guaranteed a new airplane. Actually, the airplane it's on its second. The 2 airplanes that are currently on their acceptance flights today in Italy. They've heard nothing but good things from the pilots that have flown over to Italy to test these airplanes. They say they love them, they're easy to fly, they're efficient, and they do exactly what they said they would do. And Cape Air actually helped design this airplane. Okay, they are on number 8 manufacturing in the facility. So basically right now Cape Air is committed to 8, and with the number 1, 2, or 3 will come to Owensboro.
We need to have them making those in Owensboro Airport.
Yes, we do, taken out of Italy. So, Mayor, you ask about the rooms and the interior. You've got some Italian leather in there. You've got 5.5 more inches on your leg room up there. It looks more like a corporate configuration rather than a small airliner. Faster, quieter, smoother, hauls more weight, a little more room for baggage, that kind of thing. So it is 9 single seats in there, modern avionics and electronically controlled engines, which increases safety tremendously. So it's a nice airplane. We talked about the addition of Nashville. I just listed up there all of the destinations, including London, England, out of Nashville. So those are some of the destinations that you will be able to connect with. So not only do we have the destinations out of St. Louis, but we've just added another 73 for opportunities for the public to travel through Owensboro on Cape Air and travel through Nashville. I'm currently working with the CVB, the Bluegrass Museum, and we're going to get with the folks in Nashville, the Air Service Development Marketing Director at the Nashville Airport and the CVB down there, and we're going to partner with those folks in Nashville and make destination travelers both ways. Not only do we want to send people out of our community, we want to bring people into our community, and I think the Bluegrass Museum will help us do that. So music cities, sister cities, something creative that we can attract those music fans that have the roots of bluegrass back to Owensboro, as well as sending people to Nashville. So we're looking forward to working with Nashville. And this is our OWB pilot program. I always have to hit on our pilot program, Mayor. We're very proud of this program. This airplane's owned by Cape Air. This is a pilot program put in place by the airport board, myself, Ray Asmar, and Andrew Bonney at Cape Air. This 22-year-old young adult has the opportunity to start pilot training, go to Cape, once they get their ratings and all those things, go to Cape Air, take a job. At the end of 6 years, basically, without confusing you with all the ratings and all those things, at 6 years, that particular individual is debt-free and guaranteed a job in the airlines making 6 figures a year. So 28 years old, being able to sit in the left seat of an airplane and debt-free in order to become a pilot. It is an outstanding program. We're promoting this all over.
We promoted it in D.C., and they were hot on it.
They really were. The FA's picking up on it. Eastern Kentucky University, which have their own flight program, they're picking up on it. We're doing some heavy marketing around Western, doing some geofencing and target social media marketing over around Western as well. Even the Fort Campbell areas. I'm looking for those guys that have a GI Bill that did 4 years and have a GI Bill that could come back and participate in this program. So we're really promoting our pilot program. Cape Air is supporting us tremendously in growing those pilots here locally, training them locally, letting them live here in this community, working for Cape Air, and again, 6 years you're debt-free. It's amazing, absolutely amazing. Yes, ma'am.
Guys and girls?
Absolutely. I have 5 daughters, so I'm very sensitive to that, and 3 of those daughters flew their first airplane at age 9. So you notice we did have a girls' aviation day this year, right? We'll have a girls' and a boys' aviation day this year. So yes, absolutely. And down at Mid-America Jet, actually, there is a female that is a corporate pilot who started her training in Bowling Green, and I give her first scholarship when she was about 10 years old. So I'm a firm believer in the girls can do it just as good as the guys can. And I believe that's the last slide that I have for you all. Any questions for me, Mayor? Yes, sir.
Commissioner Sanford.
Thanks for coming, Rob.
Sure.
What a presentation.
I'm sorry?
That was a great presentation.
Thank you.
I appreciate that.
Thank you.
I've got so many people that I know that go to Florida all the time. They keep asking me, and I can't answer it like you might be able to. Fort Myers, Destin, they are like, why can't we go there?
Sure.
How do you answer that? Or
The Destin market is flown out of Evansville. I asked a Legionnaire about a possible Destin destination out of. Now, the Destin destinations are seasonal.
Right.
Okay, they're very seasonal. I started a Destin route on Contour Air out of Bowling Green, and it worked very well on a Jetstream 30, Jetstream 31, but there was only 29 seats on board. This airplane that services Owensboro is, 150 plus seats.
Right.
So the answer to your question is the Destin market over in Evansville isn't doing so well right now.
Okay.
So they're not willing to look into another market close in proximity, is what I was told. I was also told that if there was a market that would be desirable for Allegiant out of Owensboro, it would be the west coast of Florida. So we actually, working with the EDC, we are actually put together the funds necessary to do what's called a ticket lift financial analysis, and this study will be performed by Valair Aviation, which are the less than daily leisure market analysts, the experts in the field across America that help airlines develop profitable markets. So we're going to put that thing together, and hopefully we'll focus on where the tickets are bought here in Owensboro and this region, where our leakage is, and what markets would be doable for a Legionnaire on the west coast of Florida.
awesome. Yeah. Well, I think you're doing a wonderful job.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm glad you're not very enthusiastic. That really bothers me. Great job, Ron.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Appreciate you coming tonight.
Okay.
Next item on the agenda is 4B. There was an opportunity to go and visit the Dugan Best Recreation Center. Pam and I went down there, and we met with Mike and Janiyah. And so I just asked them to come and speak a little bit about the Dugan Best Center, and both of them were not real, they were kind of hesitant, would that be the word, to come. And I said, no, come on, we need you all to tell your story a little bit. You know, Dugan Best used to be a mayor of Owensboro, and the facility was named after him, and he actually died in office, and it's been going, this is the 45th year, I think I'm correct.
Yes, so this is
And,
our
so-
45th anniversary. We had it this weekend.
You have to
Then
state
we-
your name and address for the record so I can see if you live in the city.
Oh, yes, sir. My name is Michael Gray. I live at 400 Locust Court,
Atta
Owensboro,
baby.
Kentucky. Again, I'm the director down at Dugan Best Recreation Center. The thing about it is we just had our 45th anniversary down there this last Saturday. I want to thank you for coming, and also Ms. Smith for coming down there to, to see what we have down there to offer. The community down there is going through a bunch of changes right now. We're trying to get a lot more kids to come into our community center. I've been there. I've been director for 3 years. I've seen my center has grown. It's been more respectful in the community as of right now. The thing about that is I'm trying to make it a whole lot better than what it is right now. The thing about it is I have a lot of good staff, a lot of good people. And the thing about it is I'm connected with the community down there. If they have anything that they want to do at the center, I'm willing to help them at any time. I also got Janaea Hall here. She's a better communicator than what I am. She's
Much better looking too, let me tell you
of course. But the thing about that is I brought her along, and she has a few words she wants to say to you.
Welcome, young lady.
Hello.
Tell your story.
My name is Janaea Hall. I live at 2532 West 8th Street. Thank you for allowing me to come speak today. I was asked, how has Dugan Best impacted my life? It has greatly. I would say that I've learned a lot of traits and skills that I can apply to myself growing up over the years. You know, I can remember waiting to be 8 years old to be able to go into the center. So now I'm 22, so as of going there over the years, you know, I've learned a lot of things, such as discipline, respect, responsibility, to not run in and out of the doors all day. I think that those things can take you far in life. And I've learned those being a part of Dugan Best in the community. I can say that it has provided a positive and a healthy outlet for the children in my community growing up there, from indoor activities to field trips to summer lunch programs. I think that it, you know, it's great to give back. I feel like that's what Dugan Best has provided for, you know, my cousins, myself, and then the kids nowadays who are going there. Mr. Gray has allowed me the opportunity to take part in my human services practicum at Dugan Best. So this summer I've just been volunteering when I can to go down, you know, do homework, help with any summer lunch programs, any activities they have. And right now I'm really learning patience, you know, working with the children, because, you know, I feel everyone's different. Everyone grows up different, you know, they live different, and everyone has a different story to tell, and I'm just absorbing all of that while I'm working with everyone. All I can say, though, is I'm glad that I have had Dugan Best in my life, because, again, it's been positive. It's been a safe place to go. I've built great relationships, and, you know, I plan on doing that so on. So thank you.
So tell us about where you are in college, please.
I will be an upcoming fifth-year senior at Lindsey Wilson College.
Great.
In Columbia, Kentucky.
Thank you very much. Any questions from the dais? Commissioner Condon.
Mr. Hall, is it my understanding that the Dugan Best hours have been extended or proposed to be? Do you know if they have been or not?
Well, we're still working on it. As of right now, I believe the next, July the 22nd, we're supposed to be going to 9 o'clock. Okay. That's something that we didn't put into place. You know, I still got to talk to my boss over to my left here, Mr. Amanda.
She's getting ready to expound. She's getting ready to expound on that a little bit.
Yes, but the thing about it is we're willing to do what needs to be helped down there in the community. I don't have any problems working those type of hours, because, like I've said before, you know, the kids, the future. I want to be part of that future, and I can do anything I need to help the community, and that's what I'll do. And
Thanks,
one other thing. I think the parks is the best thing here in Owensboro, Kentucky. I just want to put that in there.
Oh,
Boss is sitting over
done
there.
all day and not sucked up to your boss like that. Well, thank you all very much. And I did a great job, and you were all worried about it. Good job. Thank
All right,
you.
thank you.
Amanda, would you like to expound on the 22nd meeting, please? Just a few short, that's kind of an oxymoron with her, and then a few short words.
Thank
Go
you.
ahead.
I'm blessed. Amanda Rogers, Parks and Rec Director. I'm blessed to have amazing people like Janaea and Mike in my life. Mike is a great employee, and she is a fine example of the young people that we work with every day at Dugan Best Recreation Center. But I did meet with some representatives of My Brother's Keepers, and they are here tonight. Tim Collier, Mike Johnson, and Grace McIntosh. We met on Monday, July the 8th, following their appearance at commission meeting and their concerns for the community. We talked about the proposals they made. They made two. One was to extend the hours of the center till 1 a.m. in the morning. The second was creating a summer youth program. So in discussing with them what our ability to do and what we could do at the center, we have decided that we will start extending those hours beginning Monday, July the 22nd until 9 p.m. and we're open Monday through Saturday. We're going to try that for a 6-week trial run. That'll get us a few weeks in the summer, a few weeks in the school year, some time to really publicize that in the community, and we'll check and see if that's something that's being utilized. We hope, as long as people are coming through our doors, we're glad to be there and stay open to whatever hours we can to make that beneficial to the youth in our community. Secondly, we spoke with them about growing a summer youth program, what we could and couldn't do, and how that youth program in the past had been created and funded. And we left that meeting not with a real solution there, but with some things to look into. And I know that Mike Johnson was working through his connections to look at working with some businesses and seeing how they were going to fund some of those things potentially. But we're still here looking for our way to participate on that side of the proposal. In addition, Mike and the staff have come up with 2 additional great program ideas that we feel like will be beneficial to the community, one of which is creating a monthly date and time that we're there to help promote employment for the youth. So our staff are going to work with some representatives from the Community and Technical College to create a program in which we'll have all the materials and tools we need to help young people in our community find employment, whether that's helping them fill out applications online, whether that's providing them job leads. We are going to be working to grow that program and set a routine for that. In addition, Mike has some connections with Brescia University. You all may or may not know that he is a basketball coach there. So he is going to be working with his young student athletes to come into our center 2 days a week and do mentorship and tutoring program. So I think that'll be a great expansion of connections in the community and partnerships in the community, and will help the young people that do attend our center see success in other young people that are here from Owensboro. I believe that they have had some other communications with other elected officials, and they may have some things that they want to share, but I think that's the update from the city and tonight, Mayor.
You're amazing. You're a little short-staffed now, right?
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
I have 3 full-time people that are either on medical leave or have left to take another job, one with the State Parks Department, which was a great opportunity for him. So we're a little short-staffed right now, Mayor.
But we're going to help you with your notices and your social media and stuff like that. Adrian's going to help you with that.
Yes.
So we can make sure we get the word out, and we're going to have these events at these different centers.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Mayor. Thank you very much.
That's Beth's idea, not mine.
Thank you, Beth.
Anybody have anything else? Thank you, Amanda.
Thank you all.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is my honor to, whoop. Why are y'all pointing your finger? That's rude.
Okay.
Point your finger. Tell them. Yes, ma'am.
Amanda, is there any way that, I know your budget is really tight, but to have a van of some sort, so that if something is not going on at Dugan Best, and it would be beneficial for the young people to be transported somewhere else for something that's going to be educational or just fun or whatever. Do you see anything like that maybe in the future?
Yeah. Potentially in the future, we have access to 2 7-passenger vans here on property. When you go from a 7-passenger van to a 15-passenger van, it changes the situation. You have to have CDL and some licensing that we currently don't staff and have. Anything's possible with the right amount of money, but it's not just the van itself, it's staffing. Once we start leaving property, then we're staffing the van and the field trip, and we're also staffing the center. So there's opportunities there. Right now, we do have access to the 2 vans, and we have had some opportunities in the past where we've closed the center to take the kids on a field trip. And part of it's participation and choice. We did offer a field trip this year to Holiday World, and we only had 3 young people sign up for that, so we were kind of disappointed. And that was a situation where we were going to utilize those pool vans. So pool vans are available, and we try to utilize those where we see the desire to go and take the kids out into the community, because that is important.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay. Next item on the agenda, I'm going to do a proclamation for our annual Dust Bowl. So I'll step out front here. Owen, you want to come forward so I can present this proclamation to you? Thank you for your support. Thanks, Beth. Okay, this is City of Owensboro proclamation. Whereas the annual Dust Bowl is held in Owensboro, Kentucky at Kendall Perkins Park on West 5th Street, has been in its inception since 1974. Whereas the Dust Bowl founder, Jerry Davenport, my classmate, had a vision to bring That's just rude. That's what that is. Correct it. Anyway, bring people together of all races, religions, nationalities, and backgrounds and ages. And whereas it is important for events like the annual Dust Bowl to thrive, bringing people of the community together. And whereas the event is not limited to basketball, but includes music, kid-friendly activities, food vendors. And whereas 2019 marks the annual Dust Bowl's what year? 46th year of existence. Therefore, I, Thomas Hart Watson, Mayor of the City of Owensboro, do hereby proclaim July 19 to 27, 2019 as Dust Bowl Week in Owensboro, and urge all citizens to recognize this long-standing event and support the best basketball in the tri-state area. All right.
You gotta watch out to give me a microphone, man.
Yeah, 2 minutes.
Thank you, Mayor. I won't be rude and take the full 2 minutes. I believe it's a time and a place for everything, and I don't think tonight is the time. This may be the place, though, but I look forward to the time in the future to sit down with each of you and discuss our Dust Bowl basketball tournament. I want to thank you for this proclamation. We're excited about this year's tournament. 9 nights, 23 teams, 7 championships, 32 games. We invite the mayor, commissioners, all the citizens of Owensboro and Davis County out to this event. Only you can make it happen. As this proclamation says, it's the best basketball in the tri-state area. We're going to have people coming in from all over the region, all over the tri-state. People between Indianapolis, St. Louis, Louisville, Nashville coming to Owensboro for this event. The H.L. Neblett Community Center is sponsoring a Dust Bowl homecoming on Friday, July the 26th and Saturday, July the 27th. People always know when the Dust Bowl is and come home, but the Neblett Center wants to do a little something special. It's going to take place at the Neblett Center and at a private lot at the corner of 5th and Maple Street. They're going to roast a hog, roast a cow, music, entertainment.
Can we roast Leland too while we're at it?
Well, Mayor, you know, this year we have a 35 and over division. I don't know why we didn't get Leland and Mike Gray. I talked to Mike and Commissioner Sanford out for that division. But again, we invite everyone out to Owensboro to Kendall Perkins Park. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Thank you very much. Okay, the next item on the agenda is item 5A. Consider the approval of the minutes from dated June 18th and July 9, July 11th. I'll make a motion to approve. Could I have a second, please?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Item 5B, consider the following board appointments, please. Shively York Neighborhood Alliance, reappoint John Garvin to a 2-year term expiring July the 16th, 2021. Davis County Board of Health, reappoint City Manager Nate Pagan to a 2-year term expiring August the 1st, 2021. I'll make a motion to approve. Could I have a second, please?
Second.
Any discussion? One out. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Thank you. Tonight, item 6, ordinances, second reading. Thank goodness we have none. Item 7, ordinances, first reading. We have Beth Cecil to do the reading tonight, and there will be no vote.
Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome.
Ordinance 24-2019, entitled An Ordinance Authorizing and Directing the Rebate of 1% of all occupational license fees due and payable to the City of Owensboro, Kentucky by ordinance from the salaries, wages, and other compensation to be paid to new employees hired by Trifecta Steel, LLC, formerly Kentucky Building Systems, LLC, located at 2911 Medley Road, provided said company meets the criteria set forth in its application for incentives under the Kentucky Business Investment Program. Introduced and publicly read on first reading this 16th day of July, 2019.
Any discussion from the city manager at this time?
Just briefly, Mayor, thank you.
You're welcome.
This is first reading of an ordinance approving an incentive for Trifecta Steel. Under the terms of the incentive, the company is eligible to receive a rebate of 1% of the 1.78 of occupational license fees generated by new employees above their current baseline employment. The maximum the company can receive is $8,000 per year for a term of 10 years and expects to add a minimum of 20 new jobs. Becky McCubbins from the Economic Development Corporation is here and can answer any questions about the project.
Any questions? It got off easy, Becky. Thank you, City Manager. Item 8, municipal orders. Ms. Cecil.
Municipal Order 19-2019, entitled A Municipal Order Authorizing the Mayor to Execute a Second Addendum to Management Lease with Option to Purchase Agreement between the City of Owensboro and the River Park Center, Inc., introduced and publicly read for approval this 16th day of July, 2019.
Thank you. I'll make a motion to approve. Could I have a second, please?
Second.
City Manager, do you have anything to discuss?
I do, Mayor. Just a
Thank
brief
you.
explanation. This municipal order approves a lease amendment between the city and the River Park Center. The city owns the property and has a lease with the River Park Center Board to manage the facility. With the departure of the Bluegrass Music Hall of Fame and Museum to their new facility, their former space is vacant. Currently, the lease requires the space to be used for civic, convention center, or performing arts. To facilitate River Park's search for a new tenant, this lease amendment authorizes additional uses in accordance with Article 21, the Downtown Overlay District, and makes any such use of the space subject to the city's approval. Securing a tenant for the space is good for both the city and the River Park Center. It would occupy a vacant property on a key corner downtown and would provide additional financial benefit to River Park.
Thank you. We all pray for that. Any other discussion?
Yeah.
Commissioner Condor.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a
Welcome.
quick question for clarification, if I could, please. With the city owning the River Park Center and the main lease is with the River Park Center Board, I assume, and them subleasing, so the new tenant, whoever comes in, if they have to have renovations or moving walls, HVAC issues, whatever else has to be done, since the city owns that, number one, who pays for those improvements, if you know that, and does that come before the staff to be able to approve those renovations that may happen?
City Manager.
We do have some funds available per a prior agreement for some repairs based on the departure of the Bluegrass Museum to the new facility. That's intended for more structural systems, the roof, HVAC, and that kind of repair. Any kind of leasehold improvements would not involve the city. That would be a contractual relationship between the River Park and its tenant.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Nate.
You're welcome. Commissioner Smith-Wright.
Yes, sir.
You're welcome.
And then it says with the option to purchase. So River Park can purchase, the board
I
can?
believe that's been in the lease. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Yeah, and I believe that's been in the agreement since the original. I believe this lease is from 2011, if I remember correctly. It was amended in 2015, and this is the second amendment. But I understand that's been in the lease for from the beginning, since it was initiated in 2011.
But do we have a price that they could purchase?
I don't recall that section offhand, Commissioner. Let me review that and get back with you.
Thank you.
Very good question. Okay, any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Thank you. All right, City Manager items, item 9A, please. City Manager Pagan.
Yes, Mayor. Angela Hamrick will present the financial report.
Ms. Hamrick,
Yes, Mayor.
showtime.
All right, Mayor. Mayor and Commission, the financial report for the month ended May 31st, 2019. Our general fund revenues at the end of May, or year-to-date May, were $54,231,629, which was $1,839,393, or 3.5% over budget, primarily due to net profits and partially due to occupational payroll withholdings. Our general fund expenditures of $47,524,743, or $3,314,712, or 6.5% under budget, primarily due to timing and maintenance, supplies, and other. And we have savings in the personnel services. Outside of timing variances, the revenues and expenditures and other funds were in line with the year-to-date budget. If anyone has any questions, I'd be happy to try and answer.
Questions? Does that mean we're doing good?
So far, so good.
Okay, that's what I want to know. Any other questions? Hearing none. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Thank you. Item 9B, consider personnel appointments. City manager, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Zane Rutherford,
You're welcome.
probationary, full-time, non-civil service appointment to road worker with the Public Works Street Department, effective July 22nd. Logan Burnett and Travis White, regular, full-time, non-civil service appointments to police officer, effective July 22nd. And Lauren Schaefer, regular, full-time, non-civil service appointment to telecommunicator with the police department, effective July 23rd.
I'll make a motion to approve. Could I have a second, please?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Thank you. Item 9C, city manager comments.
No comments tonight.
Thank you. Item 10 is communication from elected officials. Commissioner Pam Smith-Wright, please, first.
I don't have anything, Mayor. Thank you.
Pro Tem?
I was down at, thank you, Mayor. I
Well-
was down at the riverfront this weekend checking out the entertainment district, see how it was going, and it was really impressive. Walked from one end to the other, 6 different musical events, kids playing in the park. It was clean. The officers were friendly, all kinds of food vendors, and it's very impressive. I want to thank everyone, the city, that had part in that, and it looks like it's going great. Thank you.
You're welcome. Commissioner Condon?
Thank you, Mayor. Just one quick comment. I wanted to just recognize my wife, Rosemary, who's in the audience tonight.
Please stand up in the audience, please.
Thank you for all you do, honey. If you weren't with me, there's a lot of this we wouldn't do together. So I appreciate you and love you every day. Thank you, Mayor.
Man, you must be under the doghouse.
I'm trying my best.
That's all I can say. Commissioner Sanford, you want to follow that?
Yeah, I don't know if I can follow that one.
We're going to see what the mayor says
Oh,
after.
boy. Just a couple things. I did a ride-along with the police department and an officer.
Handcuffed?
Well, I was in the front seat.
Front
I didn't
seat,
make
okay.
the back. But I want to say that it was an eye-opening experience, and I saw a level of professionalism that I was highly impressed with. And until you do it and you're in the car and you're hearing what's going on throughout this city, you have no idea what these guys do. But seeing it with my own eyes, I was so impressed, Chief, that the way they interact with people with kindness, they treat everybody fair, they're understanding. I can't say enough about how professional they were, and that's due to, I would say, the people at the top. Your leadership, I have to give you credit because it generally comes from the top down, and I was very, very impressed. So actually, I'd like to do it again. It was kind of interesting to see. Secondly, to this morning, I was just happened out of random. I was pulling into the office, and the guy from the street department that was driving the garbage truck, he noticed that we didn't have our carts out there, our trash cans, and he actually was waving at me, knocking on the door, and said, "Hey," and he waited for me, and I thought that was really nice, Wayne, that they actually sat there, and he said he could have just drove on and said, "Forget it," but he saw me standing there and waited for me to get it out there and got it dumped, and so it just tells me that that we should really appreciate the staff of the city, and you guys are doing a wonderful job. And if you haven't been to some other cities, this city here is ran properly, and we're very fortunate. So kudos to you guys. You're doing a great job. Thank you.
Thank you,
That's all.
birthday. Thank you, birthday boy. Appreciate you. Okay, I'm gonna ask Beth to put this up on the screen. Last week or such and such, I'm not real sure. There was an Owensboro destination assessment report done for Davis County, and I want to thank Judge Executive Al Mattingly and David Smith for putting that together by Joe Veneto. And it kind of gave us all an eye-opening view of the dollars spent, the activity level, the demographics. There's so many things that go into trying to produce a progressive city. And I asked someone to, oh, there it is. Beth Cecil put this item on the, because I can't navigate the website very good, so I had to have pictures. So if you go to the website and you see this Owensboro Assessment Report, I encourage everyone to take a look at that, see the assessment that was done. It was a kind of a secret shopper type deal. It's done very well. And again, I thank the fiscal court for doing that, because it helps us as elected officials to understand the traffic, the venue that's most requested by out-of-towners, and I just think it's well worth taking a look at on our website. So thank you. I went to a whole bunch of places. I can't remember them all, but I love this place, and we're rocking, and I'm proud to be mayor. And Jeff, when you get mayor, they don't come get your trash can. I'll tell you that right now. So I'll just tell you, it's just outside. Okay, next item on the agenda, open public forum. Members of the audience are invited to address the City Commission on any matter of public concern that was not on tonight's agenda. Comments are limited to issues within the scope and responsibility of this commission. Commission meetings are held to conduct city business for the benefit of Owensboro citizens and taxpayers. At this time, anyone who wishes to address the City Commission, please make their way to the podium to be recognized. Speakers must state their name and address for the clerk's record and limit their remarks to 3 minutes or less. It looks like somebody's made their way to the podium.
Yeah. My name is Misty Head. I live at 805.
Pardon me? Say again?
Misty Head.
Okay.
I live at 805 East 21st Street.
Okay.
I am my next door neighbor at 807. The police officers do a wonderful job. They're over there at least once a week, if not more.
Pull that mic down towards your mouth a little bit, please. Thank you.
I mean, the police are trying to do what they can do to clean that house up. I can't sit on my side porch because they're peeing and pooping in their bathtub and leaving the window open. I get sick. It's like Sanford and Son's house with trash, stolen bicycles in there. They stay in the garage all night. I don't know what they're doing. I know they've been busted for meth several times. I've had to go get ADT cameras put up because my husband's garage got broken into, and stuff I wanted to keep of his after he passed away is gone. They've already poisoned one dog of mine, and I've had to go to the point of putting up cameras, privacy fences, everything. And this is getting out of hand. I can't even enjoy my own home anymore. I don't feel safe. I had a friend of mine and her grandkids move in with me because I don't feel safe in my own home.
Okay.
My husband passed away November 2nd of 2018, and this started the day I came home from Louisville after spending 7 weeks with him up there. The day he died, this all started. They stole electricity from people. They stole water. They didn't have electricity or water on there. I took 15 pages of police reports down to Claude Porter. He said I didn't have enough.
Okay, thank you very much. Wayne or Stephen, would you all like to address this from the Public Works side, please? I know I'd gotten that email and I passed it on to somebody that actually could do something about it. So,
Wayne Shelton, Public Works Director. We'll be glad to check into it, and anything that we can do or is possible to do, then we will do. And if OPD is required to be involved, then we'll bring those folks in with us too.
okay, thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Collier. You got 30 seconds. Make it good. No, I'm just kidding.
I can do it in 30.
I know you can.
My name is Tim Collier. I live at 1828 Calhoun Street, Owensboro, Kentucky. I'm currently part of my brother's keepers which is a volunteer group. We're out trying to make a difference in our community with the youth and the violence that's going on in the area. Right now, we're currently working on the summer youth program, which we know it's not going to be done this year, but we're looking forward to it happening next year. You know, I said looking forward to it happening next year. Currently, I've challenged several businesses to hire some of the youth in the area. You know, whether it be through you know, just having them sweep floors, you know, whatever, for 4 or 5 hours a day. So I did it. I hired 2. You know, I didn't have the funds, but I did it anyway. So I'm going on faith again. You know, I know this thing is going to happen. I know our city is better than what people has been portraying it to be. You know, when I moved to Owensboro, it was known as a workman's state, a workman's county. You know, you can come here, you can work, you know, make money and live good. You know, and it was also known as a sports town. But here recently, you're hearing about the violence, you know, and all the crime and things that this lady was just talking about. You know, that's becoming a normal. You know,
I disagree. I don't think it's the normal.
Well,
I'm sorry, Tim, but
well, that's fine.
I can agree with most of your stuff, but I.
But that's fine. But I'm on the other side. You know what I mean?
Well, we're all in this together.
Oh, I know, but there's 2 sides. You know, you hear things from one side, and you hear things from another. You know, that's just what I've been hearing recently. You know, but not saying that you're not doing a good job.
No,
trust me.
I'm not taking it personal.
No, I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get to that part. I just had to get the bad out of the way too. You know, but you know, in being in the community, you hear every side of everybody's story.
Yeah, you do.
You know, and I wasn't taking a stab at the city with that, by no means. You know, the city is doing a great job because I've had support from the police department. You know, every time we've had a meeting, the police department has always been there, you know, to give input, to help. You know, the Parks Department, right now I'm working with Miss Amanda Rogers and Big Mike right there, trying to get some youth, your name was Mike, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Big.
You looked at
and
him.
Big.
Yeah, that's Big Mike. But they've been working with me to try to get some things rolling as far as with the youth, you know, giving back to the community. You know, like right now, we asked for 1 o'clock because that's what the curfew was, but they was able to get 9 o'clock. You know, that's a big step. You know, and that's a big step from the city. That's showing us and showing the public that the city is willing to help. You know, and that's what a lot of people are asking. Well, how is the city going to help? Where's the city at? They're not here to see the meetings whenever you tell us what you're going to do, how we're going to back each other. But it's up to people like myself to take the word out. You know, and that's what we've been trying to do and trying to keep it positive. You know, but of course you get negative with it. That's part of it. But on the 22nd, we're going to have a meeting with the Parks Department down at Dugan's Best. And I would love to see all the city officials there. Because there's a lot of questions that's being asked that we can't answer. You know, like the city manager can answer some questions. You know, just different things on the budget. You know, they want to know where's the money spent, different things. That's above my head. I do not know. Only thing I know is we do have a problem with violence in our city. You know, and it's stemming from the youth ages 14 to 17. That's where the biggest problem is. I was down there on the 4th of July, this past 4th of July, and it was a challenge for the police department to restrain themselves from taking some folks to jail. And I applaud Art and his officers on the job that they did down on the 4th of July, because they could have took a lot of people to jail. You know, they were very patient and they waited, you know, and they was asking other people to come and just kind of calm the situation down. Mike and myself were there talking to these youth, trying to calm them down. You know, and it stems from them not having anything to do. You know, when I said, well, what's the problem? And they were like, well, we can't go down there, we can't go here, but really they can. You know, but in their minds, it's like we want our own thing. You know, so a group of us, we're going to try next year to put on a 4th of July display down there, down at the Dugan Best area. You know, if it takes us funding it ourselves, we will do it. You know, but something has to be done to break that cycle. You know, and it's really a shame that the youth think that they're not welcome somewhere. You know, and I don't know what to do about that problem. You know, I'm willing to sit and listen and be the middleman to just kind of go back and forth with it to get as much information that I can on it, you know, because it's doing nothing but killing that area, you know, and we don't need that. You know, that's a part of the city too. But with that, you know, I'm grateful that Miss Amanda has been working with me and Grace and Mike on some of the summer programs that are going on in the city, that we didn't know. They do hire youth down at the recreational center. I think she said y'all had like 32 youth working there now? On staff. That's the correct word, on staff. And that's wonderful. That lets us know that they're trying. That's an effort. But my big thing is we need to try to get some of these inner city kids jobs, because obviously that's where our problem is right now. It's in the inner city with the crime and the violence. It's extending out into other neighborhoods.
Well, this problem didn't start yesterday.
And it won't be fixed
it's not
tomorrow.
going to be fixed tomorrow.
I understand
I spent
that.
an hour with Mr. Johnson, and we're going to try and work on a jobs program, do the best we can, create a mayor's youth council. We're going to try and work on it. But if you know anything, and I know you do, Tim, and that government is slow.
Oh, I understand.
But we're going to try and do what we can as a community to try and help with that problem, because we don't like it either. But it is what it is, and I don't know that government is the answer, but we can certainly be a partner for it.
And I agree, along with education. And the last but not least, we've been trying to get together, Grace and myself and my brother's keepers, to do something for the neighborhood, for the community. But it's not just for the community. It's going to be like for a city thing, for the back to school.
Mm-hmm.
We was recently trying to get the pool, but the problem that we run into is it's not really necessarily the money, but it's like the insurances and different things that you have to be able to put on an event like that. And what we're trying to do is just ask the city, what type of help can we get as far as making that happen? She had volunteered maybe some hot dogs, or, it's a total of like $400 to make this event happen. But the problem is having the insurances to be able to make sure everybody's insured that enter that facility. And it's a city facility.
Well, write it up, send it in. We'll see what we can do.
Great answer. And I do apologize if I came off wrong earlier.
Well, and I apologize. I just got so much pride in our whole community.
I do too.
I know, and it just bothers me to think that that people out there think we're not safe. But I'm kind of touchy about that. I apologize.
Well, we're like two stones hitting at the same time. I'm touchy about it too, and I just want what's best for our city and for our youth.
And we do too.
I understand.
Thank
you.
Deborah. Another precinct to be heard from.
Mayor, I just wanted to mention, highlight what Tim mentioned. We are going to do a public meeting at Dugan Best Recreation Center Monday evening, the 22nd at 5:30, and the intent is to invite everyone in the community to come out and inform us of what they would like to see done at Dugan Best. How can we better serve the community? How can we better serve each individual youth? What are they looking for in programming at the center? What amenities would they like to see at the center? So my staff are going to lead that meeting, and my brother's keeper is going to be a part of this and stand up with us, and hopefully we'll get some input from the community on how we can improve our services moving forward for the next 45 years, Mayor. Thank you.
Well, I think Beth just told me that, are you utilizing the Neighborhood Alliance at all that's at Dugan Best Center? Are we utilizing them? I mean, to me, that's, Adrian's doing a great job of revitalizing that thing, and I think that's something that we could, look to try and help our Parks Department a little bit.
Yes, we are utilizing the neighborhood alliances, but it seems like everybody is separate right now, and we're trying to get it as a group effort. Everybody's working on different things, but we're trying to make it where it's
I'm gonna turn that over to you then.
One source center might help.
Yeah, that is correct. I know Pam and I went down Saturday morning to see Mike and Janiyah speak at the Dugan Best Center, the 45th anniversary on Saturday morning, 11 o'clock, and it was Pam and myself and Jean and Adrian and her two kids, and Janiyah and Mike. That's all that was there. So I understand how they must be disconnected. We'll do a better job of promoting things, but I mean, that was an opportunity for the group to get together and try and see if we couldn't do stuff, collectively, and I was bummed out that nobody came. I had this great speech all lined up and everything, but I mean, if there's splits down there, then I think we need to work on trying to mend those fences.
And once again, we thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, sir.
You're doing a good job.
Oh, don't give me that. Okay. Commissioner Smith Ryan.
Tim, I just wanted to say, we were talking about the neighborhood alliances. As a former chairperson of the neighborhood alliance, there are funds in your neighborhood alliance that can be used for that sort of thing, but you have to be part of the neighborhood alliance to do that. Each neighborhood alliance has some funds, and you know what the mayor was saying is that Saturday when we were there was all of this food that they had prepared that they had to take to a shelter. And you know, we're wondering, how come nobody came? You know, I mean, they had this, had it clean, had it set up, had chairs and things set up for people to listen to the mayor and
Yeah, that's probably why they didn't come. Probably.
but they didn't, I don't think they knew who was going to speak. But what I'm saying is, there's a disconnect when there are things that people should attend, they don't. Now, I did hear that it wasn't publicized and a lot of people didn't know about it, but I knew about it, and when I went down there's that big sign out in front of the center that tells you all the stuff, and they had to blow up things for the kids. And you know, it was just, I mean, I was kind of disappointed. I thought, where are these kids at? But, you know, but anyway, my point is, check with your neighborhood alliance and go to their meeting and then talk. Is Bobby still the chair?
I'm not for sure who's over that neighborhood alliance, but if I'm not mistaken, I think there's 8 neighborhood alliances.
Yeah.
In the city.
There's 12.
There's 12. That's even better. That's where the separation is coming, because I'm trying to involve everybody. I'm not just trying to involve one community. Does that make sense? Sure. You know, so there's a lot of networking that has to take place right there.
Where's the pool? Where's the pool you're wanting to use?
Is it Combus?
Oh, Combus. Oh, okay. Because I was thinking that if you were talking about Dugan, I mean.
No, Dugan doesn't have a pool.
I know, but I'm talking about, if you're talking about the pool over at Craven's.
No,
oh, you're talking about the one at Chautauqua?
Chautauqua.
Yes. So what I was saying is, if you were talking about the one by Craven's that is in your neighborhood, and then those funds could be used in that neighborhood.
So go through the neighborhood alliance.
That's what
I think the city has a stipend for each neighborhood alliance at $750, $500.
Okay.
You know, every year, and if they don't spend it, they just accumulate it. Okay. So there may be an opportunity for you to do some connectivity and try and find out if there's some revenue, some funds there to help you with your program.
Thank you for the useful information.
And I don't have much, but you're welcome to it. Anybody else? Nothing from you, Tim? Okay. I'll make a motion to adjourn. Could I have a second, please?
Second.
All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.
Man.